Hey YouTube, it's your girl Sanaya. Welcome back to another video. Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing great. I'm doing excellent. Today I want to talk about job energy harvesting and how people in your jobs or your managers, your co-workers can energy harvest off you, and not only just the managers but the people that's working underneath that manager too. So how they can energy harvest from you and your energy by just working in a facility or a job, any job. I experience this in so many jobs. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I want to picture on how they be doing that. I want to give y'all some tips on how to protect yourself and standing strong with your boundaries. Even when you're working somewhere, make sure you have your boundaries up and everything, because they see one little weakness, they will take advantage and they'll reach for it. So make sure you're protecting yourself. When I first started working, I worked at Sonic, then I worked at McDonald's. I was working those jobs until I got my life figured out. I just needed some money, you know, to survive. When I first worked at Sonic, this was like in high school. It was a little fast, you know. I ended up staying there for like a couple months and then I ended up moving, so I just quit the job. I'll say like that next year I was like, dang, I really need a job, And you know, nowadays it's really hard to get a job for real, and it was very hard for me to get a job because people was doing spell work on me to not get a job, you know. So it was actually 10 times harder to get a job because I was under spell work or whatever like that. I didn't know that at that time, but now I know on why it was so hard for me to get a job at that time. Because I'm like, bro, I'm applying to these jobs, why am I not getting a job? People just made it 10 times harder for me to not get one. But I ended up meeting someone and they helped me get a job that they used to work at. It was actually a blessing for me because it was like, wow, like I got a job just like that from someone that I knew. Even when I was working at Sonic, like something happened like that too, where I met someone and I was like, I need a job, and they helped me get a job. So it was the same thing when I started to work at McDonald's. As soon as I started working at McDonald's, I was working, and one thing about me, when I work, I am dedicated to my work. I'm very hardworking and I just do what I gotta do no matter what. But I was really going through so much at that time, so in my head I was just like, I gotta make something out of nothing. So with all my money that I was working towards, I made sure I saved. Like when people say you could work at fast food and you cannot make no money out of it, that's cap. I was like doing the best that I could. I was doing great, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Like at first I liked it, you know what I'm saying? But then when I first started working there, they wanted us to stand in front of the kiosk, whatever it is. They wanted me to stand in front of the kiosk and just stand there the whole day. And I'm like, as a McDonald's a crew team, we should not be standing up all day in front of the kiosk asking people, do you need help, Like they really made us stand in front of the kiosk until our shift was done. Literally, when I first started working there, they made me stand in front of the kiosk until I left. And the first time I didn't say nothing, but they wanted us to go up to people and be like, oh, do you need help? Why are we doing this? It is 2025 and we're going up to people and asking, do we need help? First of all, there's a kiosk. You think people don't know how to use the kiosk? And if they don't know how to use the kiosk, they could go up to the front. You know what I'm saying? But I guess now they want people to use the kiosk more than going to the front. But then you gotta understand, people that want to go to the kiosk, they're gonna go to the kiosk. The people that want to go to the front, they're gonna go to the front. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I cannot make people go to the kiosk or go to the front. What the fuck? When the first day I was okay with it, but then they wanted me to do it the second time, and I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that. So they was like, okay, you could come in the kitchen, whatever. I was starting off to be in the front doing the cashier, so they was helping me do the cashier, you know, teaching me how to do that or whatever. And I was doing it. As time go by, I was doing good at it, and I started to like not meet a lot of people, but everybody that used to come a lot, they used to fuck with me. I ain't gonna lie, like the old people that would come every day, people, they fuck with me because I had that personality where I can get along with just anybody. And even I had that light, I had that joyful and that bright energy to help people. And when people really didn't know what was going on or needed help with their order, I made sure that I picked the work in to get what they needed. Whatever you need, I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So then I started being hands-on with the food and bagging it. As time go by, the manager that hired me, she was moving to another McDonald's, so a new one came, right? When the new one came, I was wearing a shirt. So at that time, right, I didn't have no bra. I'm not gonna lie, I ain't had no bra, y'all. I ain't had no bra, but I had like a sweater to cover me. And then the new manager was like, take that off or something like that. But she said it in a way it was like trying to come aggressive at me. I went in the bathroom and I stayed in the bathroom for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then she came and she was like, what's going on, what's wrong? And I said, you was coming at me in some type of way. I don't got nothing, so why would I take my shit off and this and that there? So she was like, no, you could just go home, da da da. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna come there the next day. I'm not about to take my shit off. Like, no, it's either you gonna understand or not. Like me and the manager, the new manager, it was like, all right. First, as time go by, it was cool. It was cool. She started to see how the customers were actually fucking with me, and even the co-workers that was underneath her. So she even seen how the co-workers was fucking with me too. But the co-workers was like wishy-washy, you know what I'm saying? They was already close to the other workers and stuff like that. But it was like with me, they had this energy where it's like they can't do too much or say too much, you know what I'm saying? Because I have that energy where it's like, no. Like, I don't know, people just say I have that energy. It was like, no, you can't do too much in my energy. And I think that's how my manager felt too. But as time go by, they started to get like pushy, jealousy or whatever. They felt like they had to humble me. That's what I feel. I feel like they had to humble me because it's like I was doing my work, I was doing everything, I was working doubles, and she stopped putting me for doubles because there was one time or 2 times I called out. I'm like, am I doing a double? Like, just because you asked me doesn't mean I gotta take it. Like, yeah, maybe those times I took it because, yeah, I'm gonna take it, but when I don't want to take it, I don't have to take it. It's not, you feel me? So that's when she was giving someone else doubles. Okay, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? As time go by, the manager, she would tell me, she'd be like, I would just get there and she'd be like, go to lunch. And I'm like, who? Who go to lunch? I just got here. At first I used to just go to lunch early, this and that third, but then I'm like, I just got here and I'm going to lunch, and then I still gotta work so many hours until I leave. Why the fuck would I do that? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather work some hours, then in the middle I'll go to lunch, and then I'll still have less hours to stand on my feet. What the fuck? We can't stand when we're working at McDonald's. At times I'm like, okay, no. They ask me, you want to go? No, go ask somebody else. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. You already know my answer is going to be, do not ask me. I'll let you know when I'm going to lunch. You're not about to tell me, oh, go to lunch, and you know I just got here. Why the fuck would you do that? Like, that's when I started speaking up for myself. And then that's when, at first, the manager had to do the parties at McDonald's, where, you know, like the partying and stuff like that, because where I worked, they had like the park or whatever inside the McDonald's, and they always have parties there. So the managers were supposed to be doing that, but now they replaced that for the crew workers to do that now. So they picked me because I guess the manager seeing how people like me or whatever. I don't know. At first I was just like, okay, I'll do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing, whatever. When she told me, she was like, yeah, she was like, cause yeah, if you do it, you know that they're gonna probably give you tips and whatever, this and that and the third. As time go by, I'm doing it or whatever, and it started to get draining, because it's like, if I'm doing something, if I'm decorating something and you're coming in and trying to replace my decorations on how I'm doing it, tell me I should do this, tell me I'm supposed to do that, No, you should either just give me a theme and I'll do it. You don't come in and try to do this, oh, let's switch this, let's switch that. If that was the case, then you should have did. So I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever. Times go by, you know, I'm decorating, I'm serving, I'm helping if they need anything. Sometimes they will leave tips, but that's when the manager would be like, did they leave you a tip? Did they leave you a tip? Did they leave a tip? Like all of my ear, like, oh, did they leave you a tip? First of all, remind you, these like a lot of Spanish people that I'm working with, and there was like a few black people, but these Hispanic, oh, did they tip? Mind your business. And if they did, mind your business. I'm not telling you. But like they didn't really fuck with me for it. They were just there to like, just for me to work. You know, I'm not here to make no friends or this and that and third. Like if we cool, we cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to be, oh, buddy, because y'all all fake at the end of the day. Afternoon shifts, it was good because it was this younger co-worker that was Kayla, and we was cool, but she was a little bit like, you know, annoying. It was this. So me and her had like a little argument or whatever one time or whatever, and then that's when she went like, oh, hi tonight. Like, girl, I'm not with that fake shit. Boo. But you know, I'm doing my work. She's the only person that I could probably like come to and like talk to as a manager. Now, I didn't understand them for real because they all speak Spanish, but I'll always be like distant. You know how like a workplace don't really fuck with you for real, but they're just tolerating you. That's how it was. Like my energy would shift, and then I'd be like, bro, I was just happy. Why is my energy shifting? So I just didn't like fuck with that. I just like, this is not my energy. And I'll get irritated, and I'm just like, bro, this is not my energy. I was already trying to sign up to be a CNA. I was not trying to stay at McDonald's at all. So I was already enrolling myself to CNA school, and I'm just like, bro, I'm about to leave soon. So as time go by, at McDonald's they had like redid the whole McDonald's. So tell me why I was working before these other young people that was like around my age was working too. I was working before them, but they was Spanish. Tell me why the manager cut my hours, and the people that was working after me, she put them in full days. And remind you, when I was working there was so much people coming into that store. It was so much people that was coming into that store. That's how big my energy was when so much people start coming to that store. That shit was crazy. I ain't never seen no McDonald's. Like, I've been to McDonald's, I've been in the multiple McDonald's, but no McDonald's was that packed. But then they cut my hours and give it to somebody else and try to put them full, so I only had like once or twice a day. And I'm just like, bro, like you being weird. So I left. I ain't tell them nothing. I left. I said, well, you're not about to treat me this way. I don't give a fuck. You're not about to treat me this way. And already y'all was giving me more responsibilities that I can even handle. Not even I can handle it, but y'all giving me more responsibilities that y'all are not even paying me extra to even do. That's why we go home so burned out and tired, and why we don't want to do doubles, because y'all over giving us responsibilities that I'm not saying we're not supposed to do, but we don't get paid to do extra. And tips ain't enough. We need to be getting paid extra more on our checks if we're doing extra work that's not required for us to do. So now we're just doing it for free. No, we didn't sign up for that, but I did it because I'm nice, you know what I'm saying? And out of all people, they picked me. I don't know, I just have that type of energy, and I feel like the manager knew I had that type of energy, so they wanted to overcloud me, overgive me stuff, like. And that's what they were jealous of. All the customers was like flocking to me, asking for my help. Whatever they say, I'll do. You know what I'm saying? But then it got out of hand, especially when you start cutting my hours. They start acting funny towards me and asking me do this, do that, because you know I did it when I first came here, because I was being nice and stuff. But then as time go by, you see that I'm not really like fucking with it, because it's like, why am I extra? Why am I over giving? Why am I over doing certain things? You know what I'm saying? For your needs. No, I will not. I will not. I've been working agencies, and one thing about that too, in the healthcare, it's like a ghetto high school experience. I promise. Especially if you're pretty. Especially if you're pretty, they will hate on you. I got a do not return to multiple facilities through agencies though, because it was always a CNA that was hating on me, that wanted to get me kicked out, wanted to argue with me. Like, when I tell you, y'all, when you're cute, when you're doing your work, everything that is told that you need to do, and you do it, I'm trying to tell you, you're going to get hated. Even the nurses, yo. When I started working, I was working so much. I was working through agencies. I wasn't a CNA there. I was working through agencies, but I was doing double. I was working my ass off, doing what I'm supposed to do. Then you got nurses that was mad because of my beauty, because I'm so loving, because I actually care for my patients, because I'm doing exactly what I'm said to do. You know, a lot of CNAs, they don't really be doing what they supposed to do, but when they see someone else doing what they're supposed to do, they look at them and they look at them as competition, or they look at them like, you're making me look bad because I'm not doing everything that I'm supposed to do, but you are. It's a lot of energy harvesting through these jobs. When you have a bright light and they see that within you, or they see something within you that they don't have, they want to knock you down off your toes. When they see that you love these patients, that you actually care for them with your heart, that you're actually doing your job, and they see that light within you and you walk with your head up high, they're going to get offended of you. Especially, I'm young. I was always the youngest CNA in the facility. Of course, they was always going to try to pick on me. But one thing about me, I speak for myself. I don't let no one bully me. I don't let no one bully me. I don't care. You're not going to bully me. That's what also why they got offended too, because they're like, oh shit, I didn't think she was going to break back. Oh, why would you not think that? Oh, because you tried it with multiple people and then they speak up for themselves, but you met someone that's going to speak up for themselves, huh? Okay, that's why. So there was times where I got do not come, like do not come back or whatever like that. That was either because it was a situation, or it's because shit, I ain't come to the shift. I ain't come to the shift. I don't give a damn. I ain't show up. So many times that happened, it was like God was pushing me to literally do what I said I was going to do for years. I swear to God. And that's what I always tell myself. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not meant to work a job. I know I'm not. But I have to do it right now because I got to get to money. You know, I got to get to the money somehow until I can work for myself. Saying, well, I don't need to go to a 9-to-5 or a job. You feel me? I'm gonna make money through myself. I'm the money. You know what I mean? I'm the money. And I guess that's what God was trying to tell me. That's why I always got deactivated or something like that through agencies or stuff like that, because God is trying to tell me, like, you're meant to be paid to exist. You're not supposed to be working through agencies. And I think God seen me be comfortable, starting to get comfortable with it, and God's like shook me off, like, let me take that, because you can't get too comfortable, because this is not your path. Until I started doing my path, started going in, doing my path, and what God was showing me, God said, okay, now we're talking. But deep down, I knew God was telling me, like, no, this is not your full time of what you're supposed to do. And I think that's what God was showing me. That's why he was doing that. That's why I always got like deactivated. I'm like, bruh, I'm not even doing anything. But God was also telling me a lesson too, like, show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta show up. You're people that wants to work for themselves, do it. Do never question yourself and be like, should I work for myself? No, do it. If you think you can do it, do it. Okay? There's some people that's gonna be guided to work a nurse and all that other stuff, yes. But if you have that mentality where I want to get paid to exist, if you have this mindset where, like, I know I'm gonna be paid to exist, follow that. Don't never let no one distract you. No, you should be a nurse, you should do this. No, do what you want to do, not what someone else is telling you to do. People are trying to get you off track, or what you, God knows that you can accomplish. I work for the CNAs or whatever like that, but I know that's not my end all be all. You feel me? This is just something for me for right now, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? It's no rush. I will be so tired. My energy will come up where I feel like people are against me in the nursing home. You're gonna feel like people are against you. You're gonna feel like people are plotting on you. You're gonna feel like people don't like you, whatever. But that's because that's the energy that you feel with these people that you're working with. You're not wrong. You're not bugging. That's how they feel, and you're just feeling the energy, but you gotta know how to move through that energy. So one thing I say is boundaries. Don't tell them your personal business. Don't even try to go to work and be like, oh, I'm gonna go to work to make a friend. Don't think that way, because that's the one thing that's going to get you caught up when you think you're going to go to work and try to make a friend. And why you think you're trying to make a friend, they're going to stab you in your back and go around and tell your business. Don't even tell them if you got another job on the side. Don't tell them nothing. They don't need to know nothing about you. Just come to work and do your job. Don't let them overgive you work. Like, I got asked, do I want to do a double, because someone called out and they asked me, do I want to do a double? No, I didn't want to do a double because I don't want to do a double. If I wanted to do a double, then maybe I would have said yes. Like, do not overextend yourself for their happiness. No. If you're tired, you're tired. Go home, sleep, get some rest. You'll come back the next day or the day after that. But don't overextend yourself because they want you to, so you can be tired, so they can steal your energy. No. If you're in a work environment and you're going back and forth with somebody, try not to go back and forth with them. Try not to, because they want your energy. They see that your energy is like that, and they want to argue with you so they can steal your energy, so you can be down here and them to be up here, because they're already down here and they see you up here. So if they argue with you, they're gonna try to swoop it. Nope. Don't even give them an inch. Be like, walk off, or be like, okay. And that's gonna make them even more madder. But oh well, that's not your problem to deal with. That's their problem. And if they don't like that, try to keep your distance. Speak to HR, speak to the manager, whatever you need to do. And if you have to work on the same floor as them, do your work. You don't gotta communicate with them. Just do your work. Don't let that shit get to you. You feel me? Don't let that shit to get to you, because sometimes they want it to get to you, so they can have like one up on you. But don't let that. Me learning through the agencies, I learned to be quiet and let them think they have it. You feel me? I let them have it, because by you doing that, later on they're gonna be like, damn, like, she already knew my plan the whole time. I can't even get one up on her. She's too mature. She already knows what's going on, so I can't get over. You let them have it and still be accordingly. Even if you don't like them, you're working with them, so do what you gotta do. And if me and another CNA was going at it or have differences and stuff like that, the next day, if I need a help to put somebody in bed, because sometimes you gotta use two people, I'm still gonna talk to that person. I'm like, I need your help. We gotta pit our work first before a disagreement or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just because we had an argument doesn't mean that I'm not gonna need you for this job. Always speak for yourself. Always stand up for yourself. A lot of people don't like to stand up for themselves, especially for some people, certain people. Say that the old nurse, right, is being rude to the new nurses, and the new nurses come check the old nurse, but on some like respectful shit, but like saying like, no, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do that. That old nurse, they never seen any nurse come up to them like that. You feel me? Because they was always doing that, but nobody stands on business with that old nurse. No matter where you work, if they not treating you good, don't stay and let them abuse you. Don't do that. Keep your head up high. Don't let these people try to play you, down talk you, say you this, you that, you not this, you not that. Don't let them. Nurses need a CNA, because if it wasn't for CNAs, there wouldn't be no fucking healthcare. If you're working at a fast food, tell them you better act right, because in order for it to be this fast food place, you need workers there, and no worker is going to tolerate your disrespect. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notification on, and stay tuned for the next video.